Hey, 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 y'all. Ooh, hey, friends. How y'all doing today? Hello, 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 hello. Whoo. Have y'all checked to see what happened last night? What's going on? What's going on? Woo. Friends. I was up all to the night. I think it's about 3, 4 o'clock now. In the evening? In the evening. Yes, indeed. So, as I mentioned in the video before this one, I mentioned, that I was quite shocked. Yeah, I'm finna step outside of my norm. Because I see a lot of acting and auditioning and just foolery. Friends. Faking and shaking. Everything. Everywhere. Everything. You mean every day? No, every day. Every day, baby. Yes. And, I've seen a couple of few content creators, get busted for fudging, faking and shaking, lying, This lying, stealing and dealing every day. And I just kind of sit back and be like, soon and very soon, the feds are coming to you. I say soon and very soon, the feds are coming for you. Because it's fascinating to me. And you know what? I don't ever want anybody to believe that I have never had a particular mindset, because I have. That's how I can recognize it. And I don't know what that is about us as that we kind of think that we justify this wrong action or this manipulating or this connery or we'll say hustling and think that we are entitled to it, knowing good and damn well we done lie. And I don't care if they do it all the time. I don't. That's just a reason to do it. My goodness. Because I can't worry about if they get caught. I can only worry about if I get caught. Okay? And because I know how it goes, and I don't know about this generation of people, because they act like we've never had stimulus checks. They act like we ain't, a president ain't never gave during a time of crisis, or we've never had it quite like the C, the B, the O, ID. But the economy has gotten bad before, and stimulus checks and PPP loans have went out and offered before that was not the first time. So when I saw a lot of people manipulating it to get it and justifying it, I knew that once they passed that law to extend the prosecution of it, they were already on to y'all. See, it was a setup in the first place because people who needed it, they denied, and people, well, not let me say people who needed it, people who legitimately qualified for it couldn't get it because there was so many people who fudged to get it that got it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what happened, it began to become a setup. And I know I said this once or twice before. To get folks nipped up and tripped up. Okay, so let me say this. I don't want to say that. I knew for a fact that the communication between government assistance and unemployment and IRS were the systems used to not be able to communicate simultaneously. A lot of people were able to get away with manipulating the system. But what happened was when the systems crashed, when assistance went out, extended the unemployment, all of these things happened, the systems crashed. And it forced these organizations to get up-to-date systems. And with that being said, now the systems talk together at the same time. See, before they used to not talk. It required like maybe some research or give me some documentation. It required, so a lot of stuff just went on through. Now the system can red flag some shit. Especially with the internal revenue. Okay. So I'm not surprised that some of these people are about to get busted. So it blew my mind that none of the content creators, nobody that I interact with on the daily who don't have any content, did not jump on the story. I talk about it. Why would they not talk about a basketball wife? Huh? A reality TV, because a lot of them are auditioning to be on reality TV. Why would they not talk about British Williams being sentenced for PPP fraud, loan fraud, fudging the documentation, exaggerating? That's news. Huh? AUNTEAFEE, why you laughing? Girls, they over there scrounging for content, out of content, breaking the law, calling folk and out doing all this crazy stuff. Because new laws done passed with that too. And they just walked right on by it like they didn't see it. You don't want the people to be in your chat or on your panel. You don't want them to see. You don't want you don't want nobody. Huh? AUNTEAFEE. Now you cannot be the only content creator that didn't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You lying to me. You lying to me. If I'm lying, I'm dying. So I just wanted to briefly touch it. You know, I left that other guy alone. They got busted. I can't think of his name, but the feds just had an auction with all his umpteen cars. Where he figured out a way to milk the system. I just need for people to understand that how you filed your taxes this tax year and how you filed in the last 3 years. Well, no, they can go back further than that. They can go back further than that. However many years you've said that you had those employees and your company made X amount of dollars each year and you needed that PPP loan to be able to pay your employees, it needs to be able to line up accordingly. Because that PPP loan was not for you to start a business, so it was supposed to be a pre-existing business, right? And the amount that you made or whatever you wrote off, all of that, you know, it's going to have to, that's why I said whoever you had to fudge them paperwork, they need to know what you did a couple of years ago before they offered that in order to make that paperwork. But they're going to say, oh, they're not going to check that. Oh, don't worry about that. They're not going to check it. And you know what? They used to not until them systems crashed. Y'all remember 2021, 22? It took y'all so long to get them because folk was on hold for days because the system crashed. And then these people be having the nerve to say, why the price is so high? Why are we, what word? I can't even think because I'm so ticked. Inflation. Hell, y'all done stole from the government. They gonna say, why you do that all the time? Well, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is a lot of y'all bypassed this story because y'all didn't want to bring attention to y'allselves. But that's okay, because y'all talk about it all the time anyway. But y'all ain't talking about somebody going to jail for it. So let's see exactly what they nabbed her on, because I haven't read it. I just been waiting to see who was going to talk about it, and I was going to come in there and, you know. Hey. Okay, let's go. They don't check the video now. Oh, now, see, I'm not surprised that it started from the Internal Revenue. Okay, I'm not surprised. Y'all, whatever she did is so bad that the Internal Revenue urges Social Security protection after her case. They are recommending Social Security protection. Wow. She started getting them Better Business Bureau complaints because people not getting their stuff. And see, let me tell you what's funny. The way these people on here be playing with, you know, what they call, calling and getting folk busted and, what is that called? Oh man, when you have a tip tip hotline. She was planning to introduce a jewelry line soon. She started her business 11 months. Oh, 11 months ago. So that meant that she didn't have it. So she got that people, listen, hear me. The PPP loan was not set up to start a business. It is payroll protection. That means that you should have already had a staff in a payroll. Okay. Yeah, okay, so now I'm ready to listen because this is kind of what right here, this type of stuff right here. This is where I'm saying when I'm saying these systems are now able to talk. And the numbers got to match up.
TV star to St. Louis radio personality to a fraud.
Oh, let me cut it up.
St. Louis radio personality to a fraud specialist. British
fraud?
CEO
What?
From TV star to St. Louis radio personality to a fraud specialist. British Sierra Williams has been sentenced to 4 years in prison.
Oxford's Callista Matrician has the latest from the IRS about the investigation.
Their radar should be up if someone is saying, hey, I need your social security number.
That radar further sounded after an investigation led to the discovery of a slew of fraud from a public figure right here in St. Louis.
Oh, okay, wow.
Opportunistic fraudster.
The only words a special agent with the IRS had to describe 33-year-old British Sierra Williams, who went from portraying her life on the show Basketball Wives and hosting a local radio show to now sentenced to 4 years in prison.
It definitely concerns me.
Tyler Griffin, a longtime resident downtown, is worried at just how much fraud like this could have.
Definitely concerns me.
Tyler Griffin, a longtime resident downtown, is worried at just how much fraud like this could affect his bank, where thousands were stolen by Williams.
People take advantage of programs that are made to help other people.
Oh, okay.
She was found guilty of committing acts of tax fraud, bank fraud, insurance fraud, and even identity theft.
Oh, wow.
Special Agent Murdoch has taken notice to cases specifically involved around
CARES Act violations.
It wasn't just the vulnerable she
said what?
targeted.
CARES Act violations.
It wasn't just the vulnerable she targeted. Even her family members, falsely identifying her as her niece and nephew on tax returns that were falsely prepared by her. Targeting several others, false Social Security identification allowed Williams to cash in. Murdoch says as several instances like this have recently unfolded.
Well, there's people out there who take advantage of those people, and they prepare false returns. We're still seeing, and we still have quite a few cases involved, CARES Act violations.
He says even for important
CARES Act,
inquiries,
okay,
you should normally only need to give out the last 4 digits of your social. Unfortunately, for Griffin, he's also become victim.
They definitely owe me some money already for some fraudulent activities.
Thousands stolen right here from the Busey Bank, and now Williams is paying at least $500,000 back. The IRS says for those looking to commit similar crimes, well, they're on the lookout.
St. Louis is headed to federal prison. On Tuesday, a judge sentenced British Williams, a former cast member of Basketball Wives LA, to 4 years in prison for fraud-related felonies. Back in May, she pleaded guilty to illegally obtaining pandemic relief loans meant for businesses. She must also pay more than $500,000 in restitution. In May, she pleaded guilty to illegally obtaining pandemic relief loans meant for
Let me see what the shady gonna say. Okay.
LA had her last day in court, and she was sentenced to 4 years in prison for multiple frauds. British was found guilty of committing $564,000 worth of fraud. The assistant U.S. attorney said her criminal activities were part of a decade-long series of fraud. Now, thank you to the Riverfront Times for providing.
Shit, from the looks of things, she going to jail. Okay, her man that almost punched him, her ass almost went to jail too. Had she not dialed it back, this is unfortunate, but this is what happens when people get caught up. And all of my millennials, all my Instagram heavy people, this is what happens when you get caught up trying to keep up with the Joneses and live and put on a reality TV girl and a social media girl life.
You better tell the
I
truth.
am here to tell you, I am friends with a lot of these girls. The clothes are rented. The jewelry is rented.
All of it.
Half the stuff is not even real. The things they purport to have, they do not have.
Lying.
And y'all be out there breaking y'all neck and bending over backwards trying to reach these standards that these girls have not even reached them own selves, okay? Trying to keep up with the Joneses, frauding people, if you do the crime, you gotta do the time. I definitely think paying that.
So they agree with me.
In the 4 years in feds is fair.
Yeah, I disagree wholeheartedly on this one. Now, in the case with these reality girls, I get it, because they do it around the time that they're trying to keep up with the Joneses on the show. Q, absolutely, you're 100% right. But not here with this young lady. This young lady has not only been doing it for 10 years, but she got caught in 2021 and kept doing it.
Now,
She needs to go to Q's school of how to hit the lick one time and keep it moving. It's in her DNA, and if it's in someone's DNA, she deserves more than 4 years. And let me explain why. She has been doing it for 10 years. She has
can't hear.
15 felonies.
She justified.
She has stole her poor nieces and nephews, claimed them on her taxes, stealing folks' Social Security numbers to get credit cards and open bank accounts, 4 counts of bank fraud, 3 counts of false statements to the IRS, 3 counts of wire fraud.
That IRS gonna get you.
This is something that this woman just naturally does. She wakes up every day, and this is just a part of her DNA. She needs to go to jail for more than 4 years, because until she gets it out of her system, she's going to continue to do it.
I agree.
She was indicted in 2021, but kept doing it. So it wasn't, she's going to continue to do it. She was indicted in 2021, but kept doing it. So it wasn't big enough for her. So she didn't stop. In this case, for me, put her in jail so that this will end.
Damn.
Well, I stand corrected. I thought they was going to say that they didn't agree. I thought that they was going to try to justify it too. Because I don't know where they think those Social Security numbers or whatever them numbers that they use to obtain the credit, those numbers are somebody's Social Security number. I hope y'all understand that. I don't care who generates the numbers. If it did not come from the administration, those numbers belong to someone else. So right there, you stealing somebody's identity. But okay. Now I am really on where I'm doing it to educate the people, you know. The systems talk now. What you used to get away with, baby, they gonna catch y'all now. They may not do it immediately, but the Internal Revenue is gonna get you. And when you can't make that paperwork add up and they can verify it, them feds is coming for you. Soon and very soon, feds are coming for you. I say soon and very soon, feds are coming. I thought that was a soon, very soon. Stop. See, just like they said she couldn't stop. See, it's hard to stop because you think that you're going to get out of it. You're going to get away with it. The pandemic made them upgrade their system. So that means that if you're getting housing, if you are getting unemployment, if you and you was working, and if you got that PPP, there is no reason you should have been getting unemployment if you were provided thousands and thousands of dollars because you had a business. Oh, y'all. Oh, okay. Until next time. So after this, I'm going back to my normal broadcast. But you know, I gotta spend it on something a little different every now and then. And this was important because people need to know if they try to figure it out. I'll be saying nobody told it on you. No, the systems were upgraded from unemployment to housing. RS, they now talk to one another. Okay? And the numbers got to add up. And when you try to call in people who did that fudging for you and their numbers is no longer the same, or they your calls, or they don't block you, or they don't whatever, don't expect, and you can't say somebody did it for me, and they don't want I didn't know that they did that. Did you sign it, ma'am?